Never before in history have steel-framed high-rise buildings collapsed because of fire. Now some people say, well, it wasn't just fire, these big planes hit them. Well, people who've looked at this said that's insignificant. Besides, no plane hit building number 7, which is a 47-story skyscraper, and it came down also. Furthermore, even if you were going to have fire weaken a building, it would have to be enormous fires. They would have to be very hot, not ordinary hydrocarbon fires that you get from kerosene, which is what jet fuel is. And they would have to be very long-lasting. These fires didn't last. The South Tower came down in 57 minutes. There's an enormous amount of steel in a 110-story building that is steel-framed inside and outside. And yet they're telling us these. Now, the only thing they mention here, they mention that South Tower collapsed in 10 seconds. Can you imagine how fire would bring down a 110-story building in free fall speed? One of the places where you just know they're absolutely lying and cheating is they give you an account that makes it sound plausible that these towers could have come down. They tell you that in the core of each building was a hollow shaft that was just filled with elevators and staircases. Yeah, and 47 massive steel columns. That's what the World Trade, these buildings were all about. This was this unique structure at the time. These 47 massive steel things going up into the air. So massive at the bottom. So even if you accepted the official theory, which is a pancake theory, that somehow the connectors between the columns in the middle and then the peripheral beams around the building, somehow those snapped and then the floors came down, and that floor was so heavy it hit the net and it just going down. Can you imagine that happening in 10 seconds? And even if it did, it's just like if in the old records, when the records fell on the spindle, and those of you who are old enough to remember those, the spindle's still there. So why aren't those 47 towers still sticking up in the air? But the pictures show they totally collapse. You have something that's no more than 3 stories high.
Yeah, what did we do? We made it outside. We made it about a block.
We made it at least 2 blocks, and we started running. Floor by floor, it started popping out.
It was if they had detonated.
Detonated.
If they were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down. I was watching it and running.
Just ran up West
And then you just sort of this cloud of shit chasing you down.
Couldn't
Just
outrun
ran
it.
up West Street.
I couldn't outrun it.
So what'd you do?
I jumped behind a battalion car, I hit under the car, I was just waiting to die.
On September 11th, the world saw the evils of man. We all know where you're going. We know that you're out there. You can't hide forever. We know that you're out there. It was a September morning when America was tricked by sick men with strict plans to create conflict and get rich by any means, even if it meant death for innocent civilians. The stage was set for a new American century where world domination is motivation enough for the tower's cremation. Complete obliteration for all to see. A public execution on live TV. Programmed to strike fear in the young and the old who naively trade freedom for government controls, thinking the system will keep them safe from terror. But truth is, they're the killers and the pallbearers. The masters of deception are running the globe. They're like souls, sold our sons and daughters for black gold in full attack mode. It's a final push where the Reichstag was for Hitler, 9/11 is for Bush. We all know where you're going. We know that you're out there. think Operation North was in 62. Evidence there's no limit to the evil they'll do. They plan to blow up planes and blame it on Cuba. This ain't conspiracy theory or a rumor. So why would it be difficult to believe that these parasitical thieves live just like fleas, surviving off the blood of murdered civilians? They smile and praise Jesus like schizophrenics. This ain't a war on terror, it's a war on truth. I believe Osama did it when he showed me the proof. Those who could have made it happen worked on the inside. Who called Willie Brown and warned him not to fly? This was domestic terrorism at its highest level. Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld in league with the devil. Born Unical, Halliburton and more. Corporate mercenaries benefiting from war. We all know where you're going. We know that you're out there. You can't hide forever. We know that you're out there. And we know what you did. And we know what you did. As for you puppet journalists who spew fiction as fact and bury lies which told to invade Iraq and Afghanistan, you're a part of the scam that allows the carnage of child, woman and man. The 9/11 Commission's rendition of truth is fiction. Tower 7 ain't mentioned. Why the omission of his controlled demolition? Silverstein said, pull it. There's more spin on your book than that magic bullet. From Pennsylvania to the lawn of the Pentagon, the cards on. You sent pawns with things wrong like pythons that spawn another Saigon. For cash, oil profits soar as rockets crash. It was a high-rise genocide plan from the inside. Nowhere, let it fly. Bush, Cater, ISI, CIA, FBI, got the world terrorized. Your lies don't justify globalized homicide. Homicide, 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 homicide.
Folks, they wouldn't be focusing all this propaganda on you and your family if you didn't have power, if you couldn't affect change. They're afraid of you. The most propagandized, brainwashed people in the country are police and military and government officials and bureaucrats, because they have to be brainwashed. They have to be conditioned that what they're doing is okay, but they're compartmentalized. You have to break the silence. You have to end the silence. You have to say, never again to tyranny. And you have to learn from history. So start studying this information. Don't believe a word I've said or that anybody said. Check it out for yourself. And then begin to educate others. And there's tens of millions of us that are already awake. What if we go out and wake up others? That's hundreds of millions. It's our job to ring the alarm bells like Paul Revere did back in 1776 against the tyranny of their day. It's time for us to believe that we can affect change and we can get involved.
That is valuable information for those of us who have the responsibility to protect the American people. He told us the operatives have been instructed to ensure that the explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping.